Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RedSeaPodcast. And to get through the first and obvious change, I hope you all liked the new transition. Finally, sat myself down and changed that annoying streamer transition. I hope it's more fitting. I hope it's better sounding and everything. And speaking of sounding, I am crystal clear. That is amazing. Of course, for those of you that have been following me over on Twitter, I did pre-announce this uh, way more professional, way more aimed for the show. I am glad to get live confirmation that the sound is much better, should be way more soundproof as well. I can barely hear myself think, but that's part of the point. So yeah, welcome back everyone. Been about a week. Uh, I've been working hard backstage during this international break. Uh, this show, of course, would have happened yesterday, but I did run a poll on Twitter that agreed with me that it was better for it to happen now than today, because after the SMG match, I told you all I'm always open with you. I would much rather also do it today so I can be awake and locked in because after the SNK match, with all the added exhaustion of dealing with two such frustrating results and all the toxicity that's going around, I was dead exhausted. So I would have probably made zero sense. So I'm very glad that the majority of you agreed with me and decided that this should happen today. As I've also announced, there was no show for the SMK game 1 against Scotland because that show will happen right after game 2 on Sunday. Hopefully, don't quote me on this, but hopefully I'll be with Gav for today and all the shows that Gav is not with me, uh, most of them at least. The link will be in the comments. Someone do give me confirmation that you do see the link uh, for you all to hop on with me if you so wish. Share your thoughts on whatever the episode may be talking about, and honestly, talk about anything you so wish, whether that's thoughts, comments, questions on the show, the team, or anything you may like. Of course, for those of you that may be new, may be discovering me for a first time, or know me from the socials but are watching the YouTube the first time. This is a platform run completely unprofessionally. It's me and Gav. You all know Gav even if you know me from the socials. If you don't and you discover me for the first time on YouTube, do go check out the back catalog uh, to see the episodes where we are both on. And this platform is a platform that's aimed to give you guys a voice, just like you supporting me gives me a voice to talk about frustrating games like yesterday's or the biggest of big wins, like the conference win last May. It's a judge-free platform, a judge-free free speech platform, the voice of the voiceless, as I like to say sometimes. So before we get into the chaos that was yesterday and the chaos that ensued after yesterday, you can freely go check out everything in the description that you may need from this show. Some different announcements are on the way the next few days, given that there is not much sports going on. And aside that, for whatever you may need, uh, you can freely message me. Καλησπέρα για ακόμα μια φορά, φίλε μου, και πραγματικά ανυπομονώ για τα σχόλιά σου και εσένα τώρα πια. Και αυτό είναι μια πολύ καλή πλατφόρμα για να πω σε αυτό που θέλω να πω. The game was bad. Okay, like, let's not lie to ourselves. The game was bad. We played arguably some of the worst basketball we've played the entire season. Uh, we we managed to score, if I'm not completely mistaken, the first quarter ended 8-20. We managed to score 8 points in a quarter, which is again, yes, the first quarter ended 8-20, which I think is the least we've scored in a quarter the whole season. As I saw on Twitter, I'm pretty sure this was our worst start to a game ever since when Blatt was our coach back in 2019 in a game against Barcelona. I'm pretty sure it's been that long ever since we started that bad. And the sad thing is that while there are a couple of positives at least to be drawn from the performance, and again, with the main massive reminder that we are still first in the goddamn Euroleague, the fan reactions and all the chaos and absolute toxicity that has ensued just makes it seem like we were the ones fighting for the planes. It makes it seem like we're having a disaster of a season and not like we are in grasp of our two main goals for this season. Like our hands right here. I don't get it. If you've been watching me for a while, which most of you have, uh, I say the same rant every time, and I'm about to get into it again because for me it's more needed than anything. Όπως είπα, το ρεκόρ στο πρώτο δεκάλεπτο των 8 πόντων είναι σίγουρα το χειρότερο πρώτο δεκάλεπτο του Ολυμπιακού από εποχές προ-COVID. Τώρα, το γιατί έγινε αυτό δεν μπορώ να το πω και σίγουρα. Είναι σίγουρα έλλειψη κινήτρου, έλλειψη συγκέντρωσης, αλλά έχω και μια ψιλοδιαφορετική γνώμη και ένα ψιλοδιαφορετικό παράπονο που θα το πω σε λίγο. Πάντως συμφωνώ απόλυτα στο θέμα της έλλειψης κινήτρου συγκεκριμένα για εσάς. But the main thing that must be talked about is the whole atmosphere that got created after the game on socials, especially with the Zvezda team, the Red Star team, celebrating with Gate 7 and singing with Gate 7 while our team went to the locker. I want to start off talking about this, and I want to start off by saying that anyone and everyone is entitled to their own opinion, okay? Absolutely everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I've seen a lot of comparisons with this, with the stadium here and the stadium over in Belgrade. And I'm gonna say what I saw on Twitter, and I think it's the opinion that I agree with the most. It's that what my problem was personally with the game is that we played badly and that Zvezda celebrated a win in the Peace and Friendship Stadium. It's not how they celebrated it. I've seen a lot of opinions. I've discussed a lot of opinions about the atmosphere. I've been the first one to praise the fans the last two games before the Zvezda game. I've been the first one to say that finally Seth was showing its true colors and how truly strong we can be as a home court and how big of a home court advantage we can give our team. And then, aside from Gate 7, yesterday the stadium was dead. At some points, it was only Gate 7 that was here. And again, I've seen a lot of different opinions. And I tried to stay on the fence, but my opinion is this. And you can freely disagree with me in the comments. I'm here to discuss anything and everything. Delizia and Gate 7 have both celebrated the team incredibly, have both celebrated the other team incredibly. There was a point which we all know which Gate 7 didn't go to basketball games, and then they returned. And people have said that if stuff like yesterday happens, they shouldn't have. I fully disagree with that. Gate 7 needs to be in every department of Olympiacos. Gate 7 is one of the most fierce, one of the most uh, respected group of ultras in the country, and it's a big power regarding our fans. Again, I'm talking about the normal actual fans of Gate 7, and they need to be there. Do I disagree with what happened yesterday? Not on Gate 7 side, because as I said, the two ultras celebrate each other's teams insanely, and the atmosphere in Belgrade from the ultra side is about the same. So I don't mind the celebration yesterday. What I do mind is how extreme both sides took it. Because as a fan base in this country, and I'm gonna specifically talk about us this time, this falls into Panathinaikos fans as well, but for whole different reason. We lack the ability of conversation, and I haven't the slightest clue why. As I said, both, especially about this subject, in my opinion, as long as it can be supported, both opinions are valid. And I'll analyze my opinion a bit more in a bit. But the fact that the one side that was okay with what G7 did talked down on the side that wasn't. And I saw people that said that whoever disagreed with what happened is not a true Olympiacos fan, which is stupid. And the side that did disagree with the celebration and the chants with the Red Star team, that said that the people that agreed shouldn't even go to the stadium, which is also stupid. It just proves to me that the majority of our fans, Greek fans in general, can't hold a proper conversation with each other, even if they support the same team. Like Jesus Christ, what I saw yesterday was insufferable. And do you know what the worst thing is? If we won and uh, Zvezda, the players, Sferopoulos, they came to celebrate with Gate 7, nothing would have been said. If we won, nothing would have been said about the atmosphere in general. If we won, no one would be bickering like they are. And again, to more or less analyze on what I was saying, my problem wasn't Gate 7 chanting about Zvezda and us. My problem was that the rest of the stadium was dead. If the rest of the stadium was either chanting for the team or against them more and louder, like the whole stadium was deafening for the past two games, I feel like half the bickering wouldn't be there. So I don't have the slightest problem about the welcoming atmosphere towards Zvezda, especially in a game that didn't matter for shit. Like, okay, uh, would I have liked to win the game? Yes, of course. If it was possible, I'd have loved for Olympiacos to go undefeated. I want to go into every game and win it. But as I said, after losses, especially losses that don't change a thing, I'm only here to criticize and listen to criticism, both about the team, in my opinion. But we can't keep doing this every single time, in and out. We need to stop. There were comments of the likes that Bartzokas needs to go. Again, we lost and we're still first no matter what. There were comments that I saw the Milutinov hate coming back, despite the last game where Milutinov was incredible. Everyone was praising him. Speaking on that, the complete flip of opinions that happened towards Williams Ghost is so funny to me because uh, people, I'm not even gonna say me, people that were behind Ghost and criticizing him, yes, but saying that he can do better and he deserves to be on this team. Because as I've said many times, sport is temporary, class is permanent. And were behind Bartzokas for his decision to keep Ghost, to keep playing Ghost. These people have now flipped their opinions and completely just embarrassed themselves. And yes, I'm talking about our fans. And now these same people are going after Milutinov, while yet into uh, people were somehow already calling Lee bad, which again to me is absolutely fucking insane. My example happened in the game. People before the half were going sack useless, old and washed up, and one sack just came alive in the third quarter and almost turned the game around with Papa Nicolau. People were saying, "Oh my God, he needs to play more. He needs to finish out the games." It's stuff like that. Papa Nicolau, people go from saying that he's washed and he needs to retire, that he doesn't deserve the captaincy, to saying that he's the greatest of all time. Just a switch up on some people. I want to bind my head against the wall. I don't know if you all agree with me. I don't know if you all disagree with me. And I've gotten both, and I've discussed both, and had both points that me getting so mad about this unbelievable hypocrisy and this unbelievable exaggeration is very justified, and me getting mad about some of these cases is unjustified because some of the cases after the last few years of the team are justified. And I hear both points out, but I can't help it. Like people who flip flop between opinions are just ridiculous to me. Barzokas again. Bartzokas suddenly, as we went on a streak of 6 victories, Bartzokas was amazing, and now suddenly he's the worst coach the club has ever seen again. Like, come on. Also, the people that are saying that Olympiacos VC has a loser mentality don't know what a loser mentality is. Like, where can I write this on people's heads and imprint them in their minds? We are first in the Euroleague and have a better chance than ever to win the damn thing. God help we stay healthy, of course, with Moses Wright now back in team training, Keenan in team training, goes hopefully back by next game, but don't quote me on that. And walk up even very slowly but surely working on his return. It's so insane to me how people can't be positive about this year. If I still stand by, I will die on the hill regarding that whoever doesn't truly support this team, even in the lowest of the lows, and call for its absolute dismemberment or calls it weak, says it has a loser mentality and stuff like that, or that it doesn't deserve to win. Whoever prays for this team's downfall doesn't deserve to be here in May, and whoever goes into May saying that this team deserves to lose somehow, because I've seen that as well from our fan base, whoever wants this team to lose doesn't deserve to be here in May. And I'll say that loud and proud. And in general, just I will die on the hill that this team is gonna win the fucking trophy this season. I will die on that hill. But but if we go on to fail that goal and lose in the final, because this team is not losing before the final four, like, let's be honest with ourselves. But if we go on and fail that goal and lose in the final four, will I sit here and criticize people like they deserve to be? Yes. Will I still die on the hill as well of criticizing is okay, but demolition isn't? Also there. Up until May, we need to go with our heads screwed on. We can't lose our shit. And the bickering that's been going on from the smallest of stuff is insane. And again, I'm not talking about the people criticizing what went wrong at the logical point and still being behind it. And those people make very fair points, and as I said, I've talked with them and I've discussed both agreements and disagreements. And I will with all of you, even if you comment and message me, of course I will. But the people that go insane, I'm never gonna even bother discussing it. And I wanna build into a point that I mentioned earlier. Bartzokas. There has been a lot of talk and a lot of pressure on Bartzokas this season, especially after we lost the cup and how we lost it. And half of our fan base, because I think it's safe to say that it has been half of our fan base has gone apeshit after every loss, and they just look to just snip at Bartzokas' head. And with the way that he's being attacked by you know who over at the other side, over at the green side, and the fact that some of our players just fall into that toxicity. That's why I keep begging you all after every show to stay together as one and keep supporting this team as one. That's why I keep just falling on my knees and begging you all to do that, especially as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. I'll be the happiest motherfucker when at the end of the season, Bartzokas stands tall and proud, the Greens are losing their shit, and the ones from our side that are praying on their downfall go back in their hiding places. I'll be the happiest motherfucker. Um, Again, Bartzokas came out in an interview, took blame, said that he saw the game wrong, said that he planned the game wrong. Uh, said that his plan didn't work out in the slightest, and stuff happens. As I say every time after a loss, especially a loss like this that doesn't really hurt the team in any way, shape, or form, except the chaos that it's somehow just spread in the fan base. I know that the team will sit the fuck down and talk everything through, figure out what's going wrong, and in general just have an inner level up. Like always, the level up that's needed. And with everyone healthy, I'm sure the level up will be better than we all expect, as always. Now, as I said, uh, some people do deserve a buy from yesterday's criticism because they did play well. I had a talk regarding Sasa. Sasa didn't perchance play up to his superstar standards that we expect of him, but Jesus Christ, Sasa scored 19, he had 9 rebounds, and he had 3 assists. Sasa for me played good. He didn't play perfectly, but we can't expect of a player to keep playing perfectly. 99 and 3 as a stat line is amazing. Could it have been way more with some chances that Sasa missed? Yes. Did Sasa still stay as one of our main pillars and one of our main hopes of winning that game, which we of course didn't, but you know what I mean? A light in the darkness, per se. Yes, yes, he did. But he wasn't the most important one, in my opinion. The most important one, and the most disrespected ones, and the most disrespected one, is the reason that our third quarter was a shining light in such a bad game, and that was Papanikolaou. Papanikolaou, of course, bursting uh, up in the third quarter, which we went 28 to 15, mind you, urging the team on, scoring some very important baskets, and just proving a point that we've all talked about many a times, which is that when Papanikolaou is playing good, Olympiacos is playing good. And the defense started kicking off after that, and the team seemed like it started rolling, and I'm pretty sure we got the game down to 2 or 4 at some point. But then the three started raining back in, and the game was about done. And another person, as I said, that played very well yesterday and had an incredible third, along with Papanikolaou and Sasa, but Sasa was equally good in throughout all the game, except from that first where no one was, is Shaq Matisik. Shaq Matisik, who for me has had so much shit for the fact that he has been having a dip in form again past few games. But may I remind you all that at the age that he is, he is having one of the best seasons of his career, both statistically and in general. And once again, showing up that, especially when Olympiacos, showing us that, especially when Olympiacos isn't at his best, Shaq will grab the time that he's given and he will show up and do his all and more to try and turn the game around. 27 minutes yesterday, dropping 14, 7, and 5. And honestly, getting so much unnecessary hate. A man that should have played more yesterday, in my opinion, is Alec Peters. Alec, who didn't really get a lot of chances to have a major impact in the game, but even in the 90 minutes that he got, he had all the impact that he could and helped in every way that he could. Of course, Red Star had an absolutely mad uh, absolutely mad. Game, especially shooting wise, did we let them? Yes. But they had a very good game shooting wise. And the debatable performance of the night, for some reason, was Saben Lee. Saben Lee, who for me was very good, and of course there is a room for improvement there, but both the energy and the pace that he plays with, and the passion that he plays with, the drives he takes, his shot selection is slowly getting there. Of course, he needs time to adjust, and of course, he doesn't have that much time, so the improvements need to come fast. But I saw a lot of positives from Lee, and people saying that he's gonna be horrible at Olympiacos, I beg to severely differ. And honestly, I will be the happiest if I'm proven right and Lee just continues to ascend in his performances with 726 yesterday, having to play close to 30, playing 27, and uh, generally just showing that there is a lot more and a lot greater to come. And a lot more and a lot greater is to come from our boys getting back, of course. Not Milutinov, Moses Wright. Milutinov is who I want to talk about after, that's why I got confused. Moses Wright, as I said, goes Keenan and Walkup all on their way back. Some, of course, way closer than others. Milutinov, the man that slipped my tongue. Just a big long sigh, isn't it? Milutinov, who I really thought was starting to turn it around again and saw who he truly is. Milutinov that has been having perhaps worst deep in form from anyone in the team. Milutinov, of course, that is also out of contract in the summer. And Milutinov that needs to do what I said. I ate my words right up because I thought that everything was okay last year and that with a good old Milutinov back. Of course, uh, I'm not expecting of Milu to just play perfectly game in, game out, but it shows that something's wrong. Putting up 2, 2, and 1 in 11 minutes, something needs to be sorted out. I'd love for Milutinov to stay here if he starts performing better, but if the better solution is for him to go, again, something needs to be sorted out with the team. They need to talk with the coach, and this close to crucial games, he needs to be up to his best. He honestly needs to be up to his best. And the thing that I disagreed with Bartzokas the most, of course, not my place to speak, uh, is why we didn't hit them where they had no one. And of course, that's the five, because Milutinov played 11, Fal played 17 minutes. We played most of the game. If not most, we played a lot of the game without the five ourselves, playing small ball, trying to match them, which could have worked, but of course it didn't. That's why Barzoka said that he planned and envisioned the game wrong himself. I don't really want to focus on a lot more performances because the show is going to get more depressing than it already is. But I want to focus on one more player, And that's one more player that Bartzokas also talked about in the aforementioned interview. A player that has been, again, at the end of a lot of stick lately. Eh, In the last, I'd say month, I'd honestly say month. A player that put up 7 and 1 in 19 yesterday, and that's Evan Fournier. Bartzokas said that Evan Fournier is having a deep in form. He's been having a deep in form for the past a bit less than a month. Uh, and you can't say no. Yeah, he has been underperforming, especially given the absolute standards of Evan's quality, right? And we expected a lot game in, game out. And of course, we didn't expect perfection game in, game out, but we did expect a lot from someone like Fournier. But I will focus on what Coach B said, and that's that we're talking about a player that's already proven his quality here on a massive level, and a player that I'm sure, as is the coach, will be there when it matters. And as we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs, everyone needs to be there when it matters. And I'm sure that everyone will be there when it matters. It's honestly too bad to see such toxicity taking over such a fan base, especially from the the smallest of things. And I honestly can't say that I personally am ashamed to say some vile things written about people that are going to the stadium, about some players, uh, between fans, which is the worst thing in my book, between fans. And just a general lack of respect. Not only that this department gets, but this fan base gets from within itself, honestly. As I've said before, I'll never get a hate for the basketball department from Olympiacos fans that don't watch basketball, which is okay. And I'll never get why that hate just solidifies in losses like this one. I'll never fully just grasp it in my mind. We move on with our heads held high. And whoever doesn't like that can simply just not watch. Whoever is tired, because I saw that as well, that Bartzokas' team just tires you. Whoever is tired, just fuck off, honestly. With all due disrespect, if you disrespect, not criticize, disrespect your own team, just gladly stop watching, honestly. And stop telling other fans that they're not real fans if they don't agree with you. You can say that other fans don't deserve to support this team if they don't do it truly and they only do it when this team wins. But to say that people don't agree with you, so they're not real fans, when you very well may be in the wrong, you can just simply stop commenting on this team and screw off. And I think everyone would agree with me on that. We move. We need to, and for the love of all that's holy, we need to stick together as well. Um, that's about it, honestly. Please stray away from the toxicity and please, please learn to respect each other and communicate, even if you have differing opinions. The boys injured will be back at their best, and the boys that are having a deep in form will be there when it matters. That's my final positive point in a very eventful episode. I'd say that I'm sorry for being disrespectful, but some people truly fucking deserve it. Like you, you need to speak some people's language to get through to them. So guys, as I said, the next one will be on Sunday. I'm planning to post some announcements, for example, regarding an update on the Patreon and stuff in general. But that will probably be after Sunday because it's Friday night when I'm recording this. Uh, the next show, hopefully, if not the next, it will be from after the Ethniki recap. I will have a much better camera. So everything, as I promised you guys, is just slowly but surely getting upgraded. And I'm doing my all to give you all back tenfold for everything. And I'm honestly so grateful. Also, ever since the last time I went live, we have successfully completed our first giveaway, and I couldn't be happier for that. And I can promise you all that whether it's giveaways, whether it's interviews, whether it's quality of the show, whether it's special shows, everything will keep getting better and better. Comment anything you want, like, subscribe, and check out all the links in the description. And shows and announcements are both expected in the next few days. Thank you so much for making my dream come true. Want bigger and better. See you soon.